All right, I think we're live. Let's have a quick look. Let's have a looky, shall we? See if this has worked as planned. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's have a looky, shall we? Excellent, we are in business. Hello, my name is Seundunes, and today we are streaming some chess. We've recently put out a new video on the channel. If you haven't had an opportunity to look at that, go and check that out. The link is in the description box below. If you've already seen it, feel free to leave your thoughts. I'd love to hear them, and welcome. Welcome, Max. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. Just gonna have a little finagle here. See if I can get this set up right. It's not set up right at the moment. Don't know if I can edit it on here. Not sure if I can, so I'll leave it as is. Because I'm not currently in a category. But we are going to be playing some chess. Now, I've had to set up an all-new account because I lost my old one. So we're going to be 800 racing on chess.com. That's probably a little bit higher than what I actually am. As you'll see, I am very much a 500 to 600 player on my best days. But don't worry, I'm no Dr. Lupo. I will not cheat. Watched it this morning. Very much enjoyed it. I thought you laid out your points very well. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's good to hear. Thanks, Max. I appreciate that. It was a bit of an odd video to make, I know, because he's not exactly relevant at the moment, but it's just, I wanted to talk about some servants I feel don't really get talked about a great deal. So I thought, you know what, let's start with Roma himself, and we'll kind of go from there. As for this, you can see we have gone for the wooden background. It's weird, I'm actually someone who tends to prefer the plasticky look, you know, the sort of green boards, the plastic pieces. So I actually think it's quite fun moving them around when they get taken. But since we're playing online, let's be a bit more refined, let's be a bit more fancy, a bit more upmarket, and have the wooden chess set. I should say I will not be able to see chat during games, but between games I'll be able to obviously see what's happening. As you can see, here we are, Seun 2025, that's me, from Australia. So I guess I have now been fully co-opted by the country. What can I say? Well, we're going to play our first game. No time like the present. Play bots, play coach tournaments. We'll just play first, I think. No, don't show me notifications. I just want to make sure the opponent's picture is not entirely on screen, just to preserve their privacy. I can't do that. Maybe I can expand the board somehow. See if I can expand it a little. Don't know if I can. Ooh, hello. I'm trying to just hide my opponent's picture. Ooh, you're seeing some of the secrets here of the stream. There we go. Preserve their privacy a little. Yeah, no, that's how I approach it. Hello, Omega. Hello, Amaranth. Hope you're both doing well. Welcome to the stream. We are doing some chess. We're doing some stimulation here. Some intellectual pursuit. That said, given how I play, I'm not sure that'll be the case. We're going to pick a 5-minute game. I'm going to be playing Blitz today. As I said, I won't be able to see chat during the games. It's an all-new account. 800 rated to begin with. We're definitely lower than that. And okay, no time like the present. Oh, play fair. Treat others how you want to be treated. If I must. No help from players, applications, or engines. That's why I can't look at chat. And finish every game. Yep, that's what I was taught. Let's go. All right, and we're in. This looks scary. I'll play pawn to e5 to counter that. They've already got a knight out. Let's counter with a knight of ourselves over to c6. Basically, when I'm playing as black, I kind of just want to counter most of what my opponent's doing. Right, everything's pretty bog standard so far. Maybe we'll put out a bishop here to put some pressure on the knight. I kind of want to upset the formation. Ooh, they've already castled. Okay, that has me in a bit of a spot of bother, doesn't it? Let's put the bishop here. That way we're at least attacking. Ooh, he's already forcing us to make some sort of move. Honestly, I'll just take the knight because I want to castle on this side. And so I don't want to weaken this area at all, even if it is a tad annoying that they've already got the queen. Now, let's see if we can set a trap for the queen. I think they'll just move it down here. But it'd be cool if we could get them to move it here. That would be pretty nifty for us. I should say I am no chess expert. You could probably tell. Ooh, that is not a nice. That's not nice. That's not nice. So what he's done there is he's got my knight and my bishop down. So that's not very nice at all. So to counter that, I need some way to protect both, which I can't do. So I'm going to have to give up one. First strike from my opponent. I think we're just going to have to give up the bishop, to be honest. So we'll do... I don't really want to open that up either, so... I'll give up the knight. Alright. Play ball. Let's get the queen out, at least. They might just bring the pawn down here to sort of just pressure my queen back, I guess, but it's not an ideal start. An auspicious start, I think we can say. Oof, you see, that is the problem. I really don't want to trade pieces at this stage. Now I've blocked in my bishop as well, which is fantastic. Great job, Sian. Great job. Fine, I'll trade. My resistance lasted a mere move. Alright, let's try and put some pressure on him at least. He's going to move the knight out to counter this, but at least we're going on the offense a little. Knight will probably come to here now. Yep. I guess what that does do, though, is it gives us some shelter to go on a bit of a pawn-taking spree. That might not be the worst thing for us. One thing I might try and do is I want to try and see if I can get... It's rank and file. I never remember which one's which. I think rank is this way, file's this way, maybe. But I just want to get these two off the same one. Yeah, so he's going to here to protect the pawn. Which, again, is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I will say this. Let's put the rook here. I'm assuming he's going to counter with, like, a rook to here, or to even to here. Gosh, drawing arrows, you have to press... double down, it's a tad difficult. No, in fact, I don't know what I'm talking about. He's just going to open up the position entirely. I think what he's trying to do, actually, is to trap my queen. I could just get trapped if I'm not careful. So, as much as I'd love to take here, I'm actually going to move my queen to here. Just so I have this diagonal to escape. But I don't like this. I'm getting my butt royally kicked here. Fair enough. Alright. Offense will have to be away for a bit. I'm assuming he's going to put the knight here now. To try and pressure my queen. Yep, okay. I will put my queen here. Because I still then cover this so that we avoid this assault. Okay, now. Should have seen that one coming. But the one thing we can do is we can pin the knight to the queen. But I need to get every victory that I can, right? Because I am royally losing. This is a very one-sided game. I'm assuming maybe rook to here. Because then at least if it's like I take that, he takes this, I take that, he just comes and takes that. That's what I'm assuming is going to happen here. Okay, you can just move that one too, I guess. Has the exact same effect. The only difference is I actually don't have any interest in taking that right now. So, we're probably gonna, this is probably a blunder, but let's just pressure it with the other rook. I'm assuming he just whips out his other rook then. Oh, that works too. But what it also does is it opens up a little path for me. Let's see if I can take advantage. It's not much, but at least it's a bit of a check, and it's some pressure we can finally sort of exert on him when he's basically had pressure on us the entire game so far. Okay, do you know what? I'm gonna go for it. Time pressure is a thing as well, and we're very much on the losing end of that. Alright, that's got to be some kind of trap. But I just see it as a free pawn. Let's see what the trap is. I'm guessing it's this? Maybe? I don't really know. That's all I can see. Unless he's going to try and get these onto the same rank. Rank? I'm sure this is rank, right? Rank and file. Yep, okay, so it's pretty much as we thought. Okay, that's interesting. I don't know why you would do that. Let's put him in check just to make things a little awkward. And then we'll fully retreat. I should have just done that the first time. I had to waste a move there, which is a pain because we only have 27 seconds remaining. I think, you know, this one might be over, sadly. He's going on the offense. We kind of have to go on the offense too. I'm not going to get tempted. Let's see. Can I grind out a draw here? Maybe. There's a way to win here, and I don't know it. I think I let it go by accident. Draw! Okay. You know what? Considering we had literally 4.1 seconds remaining, I'll take that. We dug ourselves a massive hole that entire game. It was literally me just trying to dig myself out of that horrific start. And it was a horrific start. So, you know what? I'll take that 10 times out of 10. Very lucky. Very lucky to have gotten away with that. Whew. That was tough. That was tough. Also, sorry, I've missed chat. Let me catch up. Use my horse NP. My rider NP would have been nice there. Omega would have been nice. Welcome, Grandad. Welcome to the stream. Videos on the underdogs of Low Stars would be cool, like you did with Romulus. You'd also do with William Tell or Darius. They're both very interesting, guys. I did a video on Darius a few years ago. I don't know if much has changed, but I suppose looking at him now within the current context of FGO could be quite interesting. And William Tell is a guy I've not really even used all that much, though he was someone I liked in the story, so I should really use him more. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. Also, if you are joining the stream, my name is James. We're playing some chess today. Unfortunately, I can't look at chat during the games, but between games I can. If you are a fan of Fate Grand Order, I have an all-new FGO video out on the channel. You can find a link to it in the description box of this stream. And to support the stream, if you would like, please feel free to leave a like, or you can subscribe to the channel if you're new. Every like helps the stream get into the YouTube algorithms thing, essentially, and be seen by more people. With that, that's not a bad start. We had 12 best moves, 13 excellence, 1 mistake. Let's do one more 5-minute game. Let's see how it goes. Oh gosh, this guy is very good. Also, I didn't get any rating change, so I don't know what's happening there. But this time we're also playing as white. And I forgot, it's not like lead chess. You actually have to move fast or else. Excellent, I'm already moving backwards. That's a sign of a fantastic start. So you're just going to bring this pawn out here. Don't know if I love this start. I tend to be pretty bad at openings, which is really not forgivable because openings are the one part of chess that you can absolutely study. So I don't really have any good reason to be as bad as I am. That said, let's see what we can make, if we can make this work. You know what, I don't normally like to castle queenside, but on this occasion I will. Just so we can at least pressure this lane a little. This player is very aggressive. I almost feel, honestly, like I'm playing in some sort of bullet game. If I do that... let's trade. I'm curious if they take... Obviously, do they take the bishop? No? Okay. Let's free things up a little. There you go. Freed up this rank. I'm assuming this is coming next. Sorry, this. Not this. This is not a legal move. Okay. Wow. Okay. Do you know what? I'm game. I'm curious where this is going. I'm going to pin your knight. Oh gosh. This person doesn't... What type of maverick am I facing here? This is nuts. You're mad. This is a madman. You know what? Honestly, let's just keep pressuring them. I don't love this arrangement. I'm assuming that, yeah, they're going to come to the back line. You know, honestly, this knight is currently doing bugger all. Let's use it to protect the pawn. Alright, I'm going to have to start using my king here. I've kind of put myself in a situation, that's the problem. I also just noticed I am down a couple of pieces, which I did not notice. maybe? Yep. They're willing to trade again. I'm just curious where this is going. This player, I've got no read on them. The knight is just such a difference maker here. I don't know when I went down so much. This is just really bad. Oh, this is just dreadful. The best I can probably amount to is this. Again, if I can get a draw out of this, it'll be a miracle. Yep. Just so good at protecting all the pieces. You see, that would be a deadly move for me, though. He's going to move this pawn, I'm assuming, to here, right? Yeah. So then I do this. He then maybe moves the rook here, or... Wow. Just doesn't care. Again, this is a dreadful fort for me, because it does... He can either take this pawn or go there. You know what? I'm going to do it. Gets me out of the fork. If only temporarily. I've just traded everything so far, which has just been a colossal mistake at every level. It's just basically been a series of unfortunate mistakes. I'm assuming he just brings this down to here. That would be the rational response. Or he could do that. Oh, that's an error, I think. That was not the piece to protect the king with. Okay. We kind of have a chance now. It's a small one. I'm too scared of this pawn. If I wasn't scared of this pawn... Okay. Sure, he's going to move back. He has to move back. He has to move here. Otherwise I don't... No, he can't. Wait, it's in check. What am I on about? He can't. Why did he... I finally played a good move. Okay, I knew what I was doing. So, chat, to explain what I'm trying to do, I've been trying to isolate this pawn forever. I didn't know if I'd actually be able to, but my goal has been to isolate that pawn, right? He wants me to put my rook rather, on the same rank. I've got to force an endgame. Do it. Put the rook here. What? I've been trying to isolate that pawn just so I could, again, find a way to cause separation, take the pawn, and I just want to make queen myself, obviously. I don't know what's the strategy here. It depends on what he does with the rook. We've both got each other trapped. A draw would be the natural solution here. Okay. A draw it is. No! Ah! I don't believe it! We just had to take that pawn, and it was a draw. Oh. I don't believe it. If we'd taken that pawn, it was a draw because there's no material. Even if my time runs out, it's a draw. Oh, what the hell? What am I playing at? Genuinely. Alright, I'm back in chat. Sorry, I'm just... Oh, that killed me. That actually killed me. I'm dead. Damn it! Though I notice these games aren't rated, so I can at least take small comfort in that. Last stream you said you'd leave your coding. Yes, yes! Grandad, I remembered when I saw your name. Yes, I'll put it in after the stream. So sorry about that. I was just watching a Clash Royale video before tuning into the stream, and the way you narrate the chess game sounds as if you're narrating a Clash Royale game. What is Clash Royale? Is it like Clash of Clans? I probably sound like a very old man now. Despite your name being Granddad, I am the one who is probably sounding more like a granddad. Tyrese, welcome. How are you? Did I see Saber? I didn't see the video. I did see the design. And I saw Archer as well. I'm glad to hear you love it. Yes, Matt, stupid time. I agree. That's not my own fault. Not all chess is time, Matt, in fairness. It's my own fault. I've recently been following chess drama again. So every time I follow chess drama, I start playing chess again. I have about 200 summons for... Wow. Honkai Star Rail. Oh, Jay, welcome to the stream. How are you? Jay, so Honkai Star Rail, my issue with it, I don't know, it's just the aesthetic. I could never get into it. Like, I remember everyone was salivating over Kafka, was it? I just never got it. Same universe Clash Clans, but it's a real-time strategy game. Cool. I'll have to have a look at these games. I've been meaning to try and start new games, have a look at new games, but I'm honestly a bit of a fossil, so I'm just so far behind. On that note, I will now play another game. Let's see if we can play a rated game. Apparently I played the Ruy Lopez, which I think is the most basic opening. It's the most played opening in the world, if I recall. How do I play rated games? Oh, wait, these have been rated. Okay, so the first person I played was an 807, and I just played an 812, so they were slightly stronger than my first opponent. Again, I should have drawn that game. We should have 2 draws. Instead, we're 0-1-1. 1 draw, 1 loss. What's missing from that equation is a win, and with that, we go into game 3. I am very concerned. We are playing white again. I tend to always play a very simple opening. It's always a variation of the Ruy Lopez. And by variation, I mean I basically stumble into whatever my opponent forces me into. Honestly, I may as well just play black every game, because I do not take advantage of being the white pieces, ever. Okay, the only thing about this position is the only chance I suppose we may have is occasionally, if you play this right, you can get your opponent trapped with knights and all that. Although they clearly knew what was coming, so let's just keep our position open. Put them into check. Honestly, let's force some offensive pressure here. Probably should have pulled the bishop back, but that's fine. We forced the king to move, so they can't castle anymore. That's some form of advantage, at least. I honestly don't care about that knight, if I'm just going to be completely frank. At the same time, there's no reason necessarily to lose it. Let's try and force... Let's see if we can take a rook here. We cannot, but that's okay. Alright, I'm struggling to see what the purpose of that move was. But then again, none of the moves I've made have a particular purpose either, so I can't really say anything. I can see they're going after my queen. That much is clear. For some reason, I was going to attack this then. And again, trades have not been my forte lately, so we kind of want to avoid that. If I can force this one off this square. Whatever. For now, it's fine. Because it would be nice to have been able to pin... Well, I mean, I'm not pinning the rook, am I? Oh, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. But I need a win. I should have drawn that last game. I'm still... I'll be honest, I'm still a little bit peeved I didn't draw that last game. Just a little bit. Okay, so they've protected that pawn. Honestly, let's get this knight out. Let's get this rook out a little. They're not causing any threat or any harm so far. I'm curious where they put the queen. I'm assuming because it's basically trapped. They'll have to put it here and try and take my queen, like in a queen sack. Yeah, because there was no other option, which is fine by me. Unfortunately, I've also blocked myself off with my own knight, which is a genius level move scene. Genius. I am genius. I'm going to put that there for now. The knight is safe. The knight, I'm satisfied the knight is safe. I do want to, however, move the rook back to here. Again, just so we have this pressure. So this pawn is doing everything right now. Maybe pawn. I mean, there's a lot of pawn build up here. So let's try something. I've got to be very careful with my knight, though. Oh, hello. So I put you into check. Let's take the freebie. And that way we also, the knight is no longer protected and we can come in, swoop in and take the knight. Excellent. There we go. We got the knight unprotected. We came in, got the killing blow. And we're not too far from a checkmate, if we're lucky. Okay, I say that, we're actually ages away from a checkmate, but at least we're on the offense. I think this is the first time in any of these 3 games we've actually been on the offense. My opponent has disconnected. I want them to come back. No, come back. They just left. And I don't think it was an internet connection problem. All right. Well, there we go. Disappointing when an opponent just quits like that. And yeah, it says there here. So sadly, they did just choose to leave. I mean, that game we definitely had the advantage for the first time. That was the first game I felt that we were really winning. Oh, we've been challenged by a 1407. I'm not playing a 1407. I'm rated to like 600. No. Again, we actually took pressure. What we did there and what the big move was, if we go back a couple moves, the big thing here. I'm talking like this was some genius level move when it's really just me stumbling into a decent tactic. Was what we wanted to do was put some pressure in, did that check, and then the whole purpose of this, once they did this, was, well, do you know what? I want to get rid of this knight because this knight is blocking me from attacking their back rank and thus also their king. Take the pawn that's protecting the knight. Then the natural response of someone our level is to try and attack the knight. Come in, take this, game over. So I'm pretty happy with that. And finally, we get a win. Bloody hell. All right, now, let me have a look. Not just how it's just makes me feel stupid and hate myself. Oh, you don't need to hate yourself, Max, or feel stupid. Chess is a complex game, and the one thing I will say, the one thing I was grateful for with chess, playing, because I played it when I was younger, is it was one of the things that taught me that failing is okay. That making mistakes, making yourself look quote-unquote stupid even, is okay because it's one of the pathways to learn. Now, I'm not saying it's for everyone, but for me, it was one of the ways I learned to learn, which I always thought was a big thing for me. Jay says HSR is very different from FGO, but they both have the turn-based aspect. Yeah, that's the thing. I've never really fancied HSR. I was going to try HSR because the crossover with certain horse girl game coming. I guess I'll pass. Yes, Uma Musume. Finally launching after what seems like an eternity. I swear it was meant to launch like 2-3 years ago. But it's good to see we are finally getting it nevertheless. We have been playing a lot of Wuthering Waves. I've heard a bit about that. Woo-wah, right? I always see people on Twitter talking about it, which is generally a bad sign. But I don't know much about it. Good afternoon, Carrot. I hope you're doing well. We're just playing some chess, and I'm getting my butt duly kicked most of the time. But that time, we picked up a win. So it's 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. I should really find a way to have a counter on screen. No, I understand, Matt. And also, it's a game, again, if you're into history. And that's why I started playing, was because of the history with FGO. I didn't know Type Moon beforehand. Or, I mean, I vaguely heard of it, but I could have told you what it was. Good luck, Granddad. Good luck with the saving. No, I get you, Tyrese. It can be. I've gone back recently, because honestly, I haven't played FGO regularly for 2 to 3 years now. And, you know, I've been enjoying it so far. We'll see if it sticks. Yeah. Yeah, the pity system's ridiculous. Honestly, both pity systems are ridiculous. Alright, Khalik, are you the 1400? I'll accept. I don't know if it's a national champion, but I'll play a 1400. This will be a very quick game and you will absolutely sauce me, but I'll play. I'll humor you. This will not last very long. That's unrated. That's okay. I play very basic. I am very much a Rai Lopez player. And even then, I don't know how to play the Rai Lopez correctly. Everything's instinct. Which is never a good sign in chess. Instinct is, like, good if you're facing fellow 600s. If you're facing someone who actually has an idea of what they're doing, look out. Alright, this will not be easy. I know I'm not meant to take that pawn, but I don't know why I'm not meant to take it. There's a reason why. See, I need to learn the lines. If I'm going to play the Ruy Lopez like this, I need to learn the lines. I just have no idea about them, though. Ah, bugger! Yeah, I saw that. Why did I do that? As soon as I played the move, I was like, what the hell am I doing? Alright, let's actually stop and think for a second. Definitely gonna be down on time. Which piece am I more? By the way, what I just did, for anyone who doesn't play chess often, is a terrible idea. If you're playing someone who is significantly better than you, trying to simplify the board is not the answer. I'm only doing it because I'm curious where this will lead, because the gulf at the moment is so vast that quite frankly, I can't even really explain it. Honestly. Yep. Bring the rook down. Alright. This is not going well. But it's through these types of games that you learn. Like, for example, my terrible habit of perennially forking my bishop and my knight, right? That's a habit I need to stop. And hopefully, having it done here will mean I bear it in mind for the upcoming games. That wasn't a great move, I'll confess. But I'm not that unhappy with it. I'm curious where this goes. Oh. That's a surprise. That was a surprise. Alright, that wasn't. I saw that. That's the expected move. But in doing so, yeah, no, this makes sense. Again, I only see the issue of what I do there. Am I missing something? Yes, evidently. Although, to be honest, I'm okay with that sacrifice. I'm okay with that. Okay, so the difficulty here is I'm going to pin my... Yeah. That's what I thought would happen. So we've pinned my knight to my king. Yeah, so this makes sense. I'm assuming there's a bit of a change. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, this is looking pretty dire at this stage. Yeah, that's basically the one thing you don't want to happen, is for them to be lined up on the same rank, file. I always get mixed up. And he's expanding outwards. I'm basically welcoming the checkmate at this point with some of these moves, by the looks of it. My only hope now... Well, let's be clear. There is no hope at this stage. We are just waiting for the ever-impending death that awaits. This is the difference between a 1400 and like a... I mean, I'm barely a 600. Let's at least force some movement here. He's going to move the bishop out at this stage, which should lead to a check. Or he could just do this. That works too. And now we just want to bury ourselves in the corner. Not too much hope for us at this stage. The pawn is gone. Now we play our little merry dance. And if I had any pride, I would resign at this point. But I was always told play to the end. This is what pre-moving gets you, by the way. And there we go. This should be it. And there we go. You played some nice moves, even though you lost. I don't think so. I think that was a butchering, personally. All right, now I can go back to chat. Let me have a look. That was pretty brutal. That's true, Tyrese. Every new Artoria design. That's true. I've only done like 5 boxes I really need to get on with the farming. GG. But that was a destruction. Now we probably face someone our own size, I think. $18 best, 23 excellent, I'll take it. Do need to think through my moves more, though. That's always been my thing, is I don't think enough through the moves. Alright, we're playing black this time. You know what? Let's surprise them. Let's play completely wacko. For Hazza. That's the name of my opponent. Check. They don't get the chap out. Wow, this is a hyper-aggressive strategy. Not really sure how I feel about that. This is hyper-aggressive. I'm assuming... Wow. This is just pure offense, like, complete offense. Let's return the favor a little bit. You know what? He's no longer protecting himself that well. Got a bit of a fort going on. Interesting. I'm assuming this is the next move. Oh, that works too. How aggressive do I want to go here? Let me see. Right, let's see if this works, right? Doin. 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 Right? And then we've at least made some aggressive move. Let's see if it's worth it. I really hope I've not miscalculated here. Okay. Miscalculation, slight miscalculation. I did not assume they would just ignore my attack. Which I guess was an option. Fair enough. I didn't see just completely ignore my offense. I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so... First of all, let's get rid of this rook. That's no worries. I want to put a bit of pressure on them there. I also need to get one of these pawns out of the way. I need to get this bishop the hell out of this back rank. Rank! There you go. Rank is that way. File is vertical. Rank is horizontal. There we go. Only took me 5 games to remember. Wow. Just going for a complete trade, huh? Not accepted. Which is ironic, because this is really the first position where a trade would probably benefit me. Should I have gone with that trade? Do you know what? Screw it. Let's put the pressure on. This was not a good strategy, necessarily. Ooh, okay, that's a fairly risky strategy. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I think I've probably screwed myself here, to be honest. Yeah, I've kind of trapped my knight and my rook and my bishop. In fact, I have completely done all the work for my opponent. Here. So pawn to here. Uh-huh. So yeah, apparently after I've made a move, I've become very good at predicting my opponent's moves. But that's not entirely useful for me. And yes, I am increasingly regretting not accepting that queen trade. Because I've gone from full advantage to very much losing. Very fast. Screw it. Make the decision, make the decision, make the decision. Damn it! Now it's no longer beneficial to queen trade. I've got 18 seconds left. What the hell happened to the time? This one is a disaster. We were winning. We were winning quite handily, and then I don't know. I guess I just got very self-indulgent. This is a very deserved defeat. Yep, deserved defeat. I mean, I got too caught up in my mistakes. That was a game to be won. I think we were... That's the first game where I felt confident in saying I was probably the better player. But yeah, it's not great. That was pretty badly played, in truth. I won't be able to play a rematch, I'm afraid. I'm probably done for the night. It's pretty late where I'm at. But that said, I want to thank everyone who's come to today's stream. My name has been Student. If you haven't already, please do check out my new video. You can find it in the description box. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave a like. I would like to stream a bit more chess. I'm going to need to do some studying first, clearly, because I am getting my butt kicked. But I'm going to learn some lines, do some practice, and hopefully come back without making these mistakes. Again, that last one, the way I just let time get away from me, that's not acceptable. I know I make mistakes, but you've got to bounce back. You can't just let them consume you, and that's what happened to me right there, and you saw it in action. Anyway, that's pretty much everything from me. My name is Student. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.